everyone, this is Ms. Shimura with Fun and Fit with Shimura. I am going to make a video today for how to make crate seats, but they're not going to be your typical crate seats. They're going to be multi-purpose, and I'm going to show you exactly how with a little twist I throw on at the end. This is my first video, so you're going to have to bear with me. I'm learning as I go. And I want to give a special shout out to my teacher friend, Ms. Tinish, because she's actually the one who showed me how to make the crate seats. And now I'm using her information to pass it along and pay it forward. First, I want to go through the materials you're going to need. For this particular version of a crate seat, which is going to look somewhat like this, you can see I made a bunch of them last night. You're going to need wood. I went to Home Depot and just got a sheet of wood, brought a crate with me and had him measure it out, and he cut it into the exact dimensions for it to fall into the crate. You're going to need white panel board. This is the twist I'm talking about, and it doesn't really come until the very end. You're going to need duct tape. I got this because it was super cheap and on sale. A staple gun, a hammer. Scissors would work better, but I obviously can't find any since they're all in my classroom and it's summer break, so I'm using a knife, a plastic spoon, some ribbon, and I pre-cut it into short little strips. These are going to be your handles, and a fabric square. I went to Walmart and got these, and they're super cheap and they're already pre-cut, so you don't have to actually go to the fabric store and measure it out. It's the perfect size for a crate seat. The other thing you're going to want to get is either a heavy duty glue, or I went with liquid nails. This is a Fuse-It brand. It's super simple. I have it wrapped in a paper towel because it gets super messy. And just prep yourself a damp cloth. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to take our fabric square, lay it flat, and have the back side facing you so that the colorful side that's going to be on the outside is on the table or floor or wherever you're working. Then we are going to take these mattress pads. Now I bought a full-size mattress pad and I pre-measured it and cut it into the exact size squares I need. You're going to lay it flat, dead center. And then you're going to take your piece of wood, you're going to touch it to see which side is rougher. You want to put the rougher side inside, just in case a kid does touch it. Won't give them splinters or anything. I've already got a few, so I learned the hard way. You're going to lay it right on top of that. You're going to pull the long side of the fabric square, and I do this because I like folded corners, and you'll see pictures in my blog post about this. You're going to pull it as tight as possible, and then you're going to just staple gun. I like to do 5 staples on the long side and 4 staples on the short side. I start with the middle just so I have something already set up for myself. I go to my 2 corners, make sure to keep pulling that fabric super tight, and then I go right in between my 3 placer staples. Now, sometimes they don't go all the way in, which is why you need this hammer. You're just going to hammer those staples in a little bit further to make sure they're secure. I go to the other long side because I like folded corners on these. It just looks prettier. You don't have to do that. It's just me being weird and a random teacher OCD of mine. And I'm going to do the long side again, starting with the middle and going to my 2 corners. So also a side note, I have 2 dogs, so if you hear barking and fighting, that's them 2 in the background just playing and messing around, just ignore them. So I'm going to go, this is what I've got so far, okay? So it's starting to look like the seat top here, and we've got our 2 long edges stapled. I'm going to go to my short edges now, and I'm going to do a step-by-step picture in my blog post, but I'm going to explain how I get my little corners. First, it's like wrapping a present. I tuck my fabric under the wood block, in between the wood block and that mattress pad, and then I pull it so that I have a nice little, almost looks like a manila envelope top. I'm going to pull that up and over, and that gives me the nice little corner effect that I'm looking for. Now, I said I like 4 staples, so I'm not going to staple directly in the center. I'm going to staple 1 off to the side and 1 off to the side. And again, I'm going to put step-by-step pictures of this so you can see that too. I just wanted you to have a video because I know sometimes I lose track with videos, and I like to pause and be like, huh, what just happened? I'm going to hammer it in. do my other side. Same exact way.
Dance, 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 feel good creeping up on you, so just dance, dance, dance.
I have a lot of aqua and turquoise seat covers and gray ribbon handles. You're gonna take your long strand, you're gonna fold it in half like that. The side that is open is going to go into the wood, okay? So that this little loop part is sticking off the edge. You're gonna put it right in the center of that short side. And I put one staple closer in and one staple further out. I'm gonna do the same thing with another piece of ribbon on the other side. Now, this is what your flat inner part is gonna look like, okay? Now, I have purple duct tape. Doesn't really match my whole color scheme, but no one's really gonna see this, especially with the little twist I'm gonna add at the end, so it doesn't matter. It was the cheapest thing, that's what I went for. I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna just put it along these edges right here, so that this fabric, how you see it's kind of coming up, it's gonna hold it down a little better. This is where your scissors would come in handy, and for cutting that ribbon. I didn't have scissors, everything's in my classroom, and I still haven't been able to get into my classroom. So I'm just using a knife. Works just as well, you just have to be a little more careful. Now, if you want just a crate seat, then guess what? You are done. But I want to show you how to turn this into something that can be more than just a crate seat. And I mean, obviously the possibilities are endless. But now we've got our crate seat on one side, you just put it right in that crate. You see I have mine stacked all over there, but they're full of my teacher stuff that I'm going to be taking back to my classroom. If I flip it over though, I want to turn it into a lap desk. I'm transitioning to flexible seating this year, and a lot of my kids love sitting on the floor, but they complain that clipboards and stuff are too hard on their laps. So like this gives them that little extra cushion, but I really don't want them writing and putting their stuff on this ugly wood side and possibly getting a splinter. So what I did is I have my liquid nails here. Naturally, I broke it, so I'm going to be spooning it out from the bottom, which is actually easier than squeezing it out that little tube. I'm going to use the back of the spoon, and I'm just going to grab some, okay? It's not the easiest to work with, so I would recommend getting something like Gorilla Glue or some heavy-duty wood glue or all-purpose glue. Not your Elmer's classroom glue, not going to hold. We want something that's going to really withstand children, and we all know kids are crazy. I'm going to put one on each corner on top of the tape, kind of overlapping with the fabric. That's just going to add an extra adhesive with that tape and that fabric, okay? And then in addition to that, I want to put it on the actual wood. Before I do that, so that it doesn't take as long to dry and adhere together, I'm going to tap it with a damp cloth. Just the wood part, not the fabric or the tape. According to the directions, that helps these liquid nails dry a little faster. And I'm just going to grab some more and put one on each corner again. And I'm not putting huge globs. They're about the size of maybe a nickel. They're not too thick. Okay, maybe a quarter. And then I'm going to put 3 dots going right down the middle of that. And so in the end, this is what I am left with. And if you can see, those are the grays, all those globs of liquid nails. I'm going to take my white panel board, okay, and I'm going to put the brown side facing down towards those liquid nails. Okay, press firmly down. You can sit on it if you'd like to. I'm just going to press down for a little while. Now, you don't want to pull from the panel board because it hasn't completely dried yet and it hasn't adhered really well. What you're going to want to do is just keep pressing down for a few minutes. I've literally been putting them on the couch and just sitting on them and watching TV for maybe 5 minutes. Then you could pull them out. It holds. And now you not only have your crate seat, but now this white panel board can serve as a dry erase board. So this will be great for small group if my kids want to work from the floor independently, and they can take dry erase markers from our storage shelf and they can actually write things out on here because this works as a whiteboard for them. Now, instead of just having a boring crate seat that you're just sitting on, you're having something you can use for multiple things. I hope this was really useful to you. I know I'm really excited to use these in my classroom, and I know I'm excited to take the crate seat one step further. I'm gonna let this dry and keep going on the rest of these, adding my panel board because I haven't done that on these yet. If you have any questions, comments, maybe ideas on how I can even step this up one more way and use it another way, I'd love to hear it. Just comment below, either on this YouTube video or on my blog post. Thanks for joining me for my first video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you need more detail, there will be step-by-step detailed instructions in my blog post. And if you ever have any ideas for having fun in 5th, make sure to hit me up. This is Miss Shimura.